Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the free daily coaching hangout. We do this free daily coaching hangout Mondays through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 10 a.m. Eastern. If you're in the Central or Mountain times, it's going to be 10 Central, and then of course it's going to be 9 Central, and then 8 Mountain, and then of course 7 a.m. Pacific time. So this is our new time slot. This is the time that we're going to continue to run with, and this is our our first week back. We're rebooting as we have re-engaged here on the free daily coaching call. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to have our lineup kind of similar to what we had in the very beginning. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Elizabeth. I see Phoenicia over there saying good morning in the chat. Good morning to all of you. So on Thursdays, we're going to do something fun. Thursdays, the day before Friday, the day before the end of the week, on Fridays, we're going to have a Friday free-for-all. So on Fridays, everyone's invited to come over and participate, share what you're doing in your marketing, what's working, where you're having some challenges, you know, whatever you'd like to do to participate. That's what Friday's going to be for. Thursday, good morning, Angel. Thursday, the day before each Friday, we're going to do a little throwdown with Chris Shouse. A little Shouse is in the house on Thursday. So we're doing Shouse in the house Thursdays. And what does that mean? That means that today I'm starting the webinar this morning, but normally on a Thursday, you might not even see me. You might just see me click up over here, and you just might see my logo, and then you'll just see Chris Shouse. And the reason is because over the past about month and a half, as we transitioned and as we moved, as many of you know, we had a big move, and the time schedule got drastically accelerated because of our vehicle situation. Cars kept on, we were having a car episode, and our cars kept on blowing up. It seems funny now, but it wasn't as funny when it was going on. Good morning, Angela. So because of that, we had to accelerate our schedule. While that was happening, we had a regular member of Free Daily Coaching, Chris Shouse, who was staying in contact with me, that was keeping me updated to what was going on, and was keeping me posted and keeping connected to Free Daily Coaching. And because she had so much connection with Free Daily Coaching, because she's been here for a while, we decided, hey, let's go and let's reach out to Chris, and let's bring her over and do a little bit more. And so Chris is going to start taking over on Thursday mornings. So sometimes on Thursdays, you won't even see me. Now, you don't have to worry. Chris and I are going to talk, and we talk often enough that you don't have to worry about on Thursdays, are you going to come? It's going to be some wacky topic. It's going to be something that Chris and I have already discussed. It's going to be something that's going to pertain to what it is that we've been discussing throughout the week, right? So if we're talking about blogging all week, Chris isn't going to come on here on Thursday and all of a sudden go into right field and talk about, you know, Craigslist all of a sudden, right? Like just out of the blue. It's not going to be like that. She's going to be talking about things that we're already been doing throughout the week, right? She's going to be talking about the same types of marketing questions that we've been talking about through the week with our interview person, with mindset on Mondays, with our tech tip on Tuesday, right? We're going to try to keep a somewhat congruent theme to the week. Now, some weeks we're going to have an interview, and that person's just going to talk about whatever they're doing, and it's not going to pertain necessarily maybe to the specific tech tip topic, or maybe it won't flow with that mindset. But we'll try on our side as best we can to keep that congruent, to keep that fluid, so that you can keep that theme and that topic throughout the week. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce everyone, if you don't already know her, to really a marketing dynamo. This lady has picked up some of the more advanced and the technical stuff really, really easily. She focuses in and just tackles it like she's in kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like she's learning the ABCs. She just dives in and does it. And because of that, she's really become a resource. She's become someone that I literally send people to her if I know that I'm going to be away. If I'm going to be out and people are working on some of their projects, and specifically speaking, if they're working on some marketing projects and they're building sales funnels, and they have questions, I send them to Chris Shouse. Why? Well, because I know that she has the technical knowledge on the back end to be able to help them to get through any obstacles or challenges they may have. And the reason I know that Chris Shouse can do this is because she's done it over and over and over again, right? She's proven to myself and to other people that she knows what she's doing because of the repetition of doing it over and over and over again. And so it's really exciting for me to be able to have someone else here and to have some more help over at Free Daily Coaching. So good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Bert.
So did you have something that you specifically, I know last night when we just touched base really quick, and we had talked about doing this earlier in the week, and is there anything specific that you wanted to touch on this morning? I just wanted to do a quick intro so everyone knew what was going on, especially since we just started the Free Daily Coaching back up. Some people, this might be their first day back, or this just might be something, you know, new for them. So I just want them to get scared it out and say, hey, what's going on? You know,
we really didn't have too much of a topic this week, and we didn't ever get any mindset in other than your MLSP call.
Right.
So I sort of today wanted to talk a little bit about keeping your passion alive.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'm just gonna mute off so that you can take over the call. Is that okay?
That's okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I don't know if you guys can see this painting behind me or not, but that was my father's painting. And my father was an artist at heart, but at some point in his life, he had to go to work. He had to go get a job. But his passion for painting never stopped. And it ate at him that he couldn't paint anymore until he finally drank himself to death. And he died with that passion in his heart. And I just wondered, what kind of passion do you guys have? Do you have something that you really, really want to do? It is my belief that we come here with a certain purpose in mind. And at some point, we have to reckon with that path that we were supposed to take. And we can sit on the couch and watch TV and have our six-pack and ignore it. Eventually, it'll manifest itself into illness if you don't follow your passion. I had a neighbor one time whose wife buried him with a McDonald's sack and a six-pack of Coke in his casket with him. She blamed his death on his ignoring the signs that he shouldn't be doing what he was doing. Do you guys have any passions over there that you feel are unrealized? I heard a motivational thing the other day, and something really stuck with me, that the richest place on earth are the graveyards, because in that graveyard is gold that was buried with the person who never let it out, never shared it, never talked about it, never did anything about it. And that gold is all buried. And they say that if we die with a song and with our passion still inside of us, that we've robbed other people of what we could have shared with them and taught them. And so, is there any passions out there that you guys have that you feel are unfulfilled, or that you feel very passionate about? Could you tell me in the chat box if there's any passions. That's true, Angela. It keeps you going. It really keeps you going. I believe that by us learning new things every day and really learning them and then turning around and teaching them to other people, that we keep our passions alive. And along the path, we find more passions, and we find paths and forks in the road, and we have to decide which way we're going to go. Yep, passion about your family and making your family free. That is a really good passion, Angela. A very good passion. And so is that what propels you forward every day? I know what propels me forward. I have a granddaughter, a beautiful granddaughter. She just turned 13, so you know what a 13-year-old is like. Well, I want to leave her a legacy. I want her to have choices in life that she can follow her passions without any obstacles in her way. If she chooses to go get a job, you know, that will be her thing, but I want her to have the options of exactly what she wants to do, what her passion is. And she's a beautiful young lady, and she keeps me going every day. I know that we work hard every day. You know, people think that finding freedom in your life is easy, but it isn't. You have to work very hard. And I think people give up too soon. They let their passions die, and they shouldn't. I always think of that cartoon or graph of how close the guy was to striking gold. And it keeps me propelled and going every day. So our mindset is very important, and we should definitely do. Mindset should be one of the most important things we do every day, whether it be reading or listening to affirmations or writing affirmations. I don't know how many of you were on Rob 4 last night, but he writes his affirmations, and then he writes afformations, which are speaking as it already is. Have you guys ever heard of afformations before? Noah St. John writes about it, and you speak as it already is. And it's really funny. I don't know if you guys look on my wall sometimes, but I get messages from the universe every day. And I just posted one that I got in my email box this morning. And it's funny that the message this morning was about the same, about speaking as it already was. And I thought that was rather interesting, since that's the topic that I had chosen to speak on today. Does anybody have any good books that they've read that inspire them? I know that, of course, the big one is Think and Grow Rich, and I'm probably on my second go through with that. It makes a lot of sense. What other books are very, very good for mindset? Yeah, Lynn is really good at mindset, that's for sure. As is Bert. Bert is very good at mindset also, and his passion, and he lets you know his passion.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm just going to join in because I'm right here, and I'm going to just say my book because I think that everyone should go get this book. Let me see if I have it right here on the shelf so I can show you what the cover looks like. I always take the jackets off because I hate the jackets on the books. So then I can't see it sitting here. Right here.
I always take the jackets off too.
This one I put the jacket back on so I can find it. Okay, so here it is. This is the book. Now I want to preface this with this. For those of you that are not religious, I'm not a religious guy, so I'm not trying to push a religion onto you. So I just want to preface that with this, and then I want to show you this book. Okay? It's called Greater. It's by Stephen Furtick. In addition to reading the book, I got to hear this guy speak, and I got to go and literally listen to this man talk, and I got to hear his talk based on this book, right? Dream bigger, start smaller, ignite God's vision for your life, right? And this book right here, and this isn't a true story, this book right here changed my whole entire life.
Wow. And
the reason is because this is the book that I read. I went to an event in Florida at my last job, at my last paying real job where I worked for someone else. I went to an event thinking that I was going to probably be quitting soon. And I went to the event. I got to hear this pastor, this speaker on a private session with like 200 people or something for like a 4-hour talk, 2 different days. And I literally have a voice memo still recorded onto I think it's onto this computer now. That's like a 45-minute message that I recorded to myself after hearing this man speak on this. And on the Monday morning that we came home from this trip, on that Tuesday when I got back to the office is when I put in my notice.
Wow.
When you hear my story, when I talk about quitting my job and I just quit, like just out of the blue, right? And gave my notice, it was after this event. That's how powerful this book is. It literally changed my life that much. So I wanted to show this. I love this book. This is the book that I tell people all the time. People ask me, this guy, Stephen Furtick, he changed my life.
I just wrote it down for my list.
And he probably doesn't even know it, right? He's just this young kid, young guy. He's a pastor in this big, huge, one of those big, massive churches called the Elevation Group or the Elevation Church. Right, in North Carolina, and they have like satellite offices, one of those churches where they have satellite branches. So that's it. That's the book that I like for mindset. And then I just got this book. I found this book. You guys are gonna think I'm silly, but I find a lot of old books too. Like a lot of these books that I have on my shelf, my wife found me like the Ultimate Marketing Sales Letter and all those things. The Ultimate Newsletter. She found me all those books. I mean, I had one or two copies, but she found me hundreds of these books. And like Dale Carnegie books. Dale Carnegie's like the father of all this stuff. He's the one that came up, right? He's the one that came up with all this, and everyone's coming off of his. Everyone's making stuff off of his stuff. So you could go right to the original, and you could get some of these books. I got some of these books for like a dime, a quarter. You know what I mean? In a thrift store. I don't even know where this one came from. I think so I'm going to say it's free. It doesn't even look like the original person that owned it read more than like the first few pages. And I don't know if that was just through me leafing through it. So this is more than 2 million of these books sold. It's pretty thin. It's only a couple 100 pages, 150 pages maybe. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason.
I have read that.
I'm not a religious guy. Now I'm showing you guys all these like religious ones, right? But this one is like, these are not
really religious.
No, this one's not a religious one. This one just talks about ancient prosperity tips, right? things that you should be doing that are wisdom passed down literally from thousands of years of experience on how to do something the way that they did it back in the old days, right? The way that works. And so this is the next, I haven't read this one yet, so don't tell me, Chris. So this is on my desk because this is next on my list, right? This is on my pile of books to read. So those are, I just wanted to, since you were asking, I just wanted to share 2 of mine, Chris.
I was just still unpacking some boxes, and when I first got into real estate, I went to see Tom Hopkins speak, and I just found this, and I have never listened to it. It's a whole CDs of Balance Your Life. How to achieve financial independence, emotional stability, physical and spiritual fulfillment. So that ought to be a good mindset one too.
Absolutely. Well, and this is the funny part is, and this is something else that's sitting right here on my desk as I unpacked. So this is fun. I'll show you guys. As I unpacked my office, right? It's pretty clean little stack of paper in my office. And this is exactly what's on it right here. I'm gonna show you. This is it, okay? This is like my to-do list on my desk. So on top, prize. On top, another prize, right? So 2 prizes, because we talked about these yesterday. A receipt that can be thrown away. Some vinyl. I thought that when I got these Vinyl Patriot stickers for my truck, I thought they were stickers, but they're like vinyl just for the window, because I was going to put the extra one. I had there's an extra one on there I was going to put on my computer. That one's out. Some mail that I opened, I have to go to the bank because there's a check in there for me, so I have to go deposit a check. This was my first list from when I got here. Things I had to do. Call the DMV, call the insurance and cancel, call the CenturyLink, which is my internet, right? So these are all the things that I had to do right away when I got here. So these are all done. I kept the paper because I wanted to, my neighbor, the guy that lives in the property adjacent called, and I wrote down the phone number, so I wanted to enter it into my phone. Another piece of mail, like a processing thing from a company so that I can get paid. So I have to fill that out. And then the last 2 things, Chris, and I saved these because these are things that were in my office before that I hadn't used as much that I wanted to use. So this is a good friend of mine named Tom Huberti. He lives in Minnesota. He used to live in Colorado and work there. And he wrote this book, 52 Weeks of Better Running and Better Living. And he wrote it back, this one was the 2011 version. Well, I started it, but I didn't finish. This is when I started doing triathlons. Yeah. And so when I did that, I just switched over to my triathlons, and I didn't finish this. And in this book, it's literally a guide for running, but there's all kinds of different, there's different goals and different visions and different exercises that you can do. And it's not just about running. It's about taking your running or your whatever exercise you're doing, right, and incorporating that into your life. So that was one of them. And then you guys might not know this, but when we very first started getting into home-based business, before I was really even into multi-level marketing or really anything like that, Jessica and I met a financial guy through my work, and that guy was in a company that was like an MLM, right? And it was all about investing and investing in mutual funds and doing all that, right? And Jessica actually is licensed, so she went through like the licensure thing, so she could actually like buy and sell and trade stocks and stuff, or insurance. Not stock.
Was that the Prime America?
Yeah, that Prime America thing.
I did that.
So because of that, she had a guy that she worked with, right? Like her sponsoring member. And so he did a training one time, and then this guy did a results-focused coaching program, right? So he did this coaching program by this Jack Rand guy. And so now I have this 3-ring binder, and it has this whole entire like coaching and development program, right? Wow. So as I'm developing my stuff now, I have like an idea, a framework of what what I could model my stuff after, right? Because I've got someone else's framework. I got 2 other frameworks right here. So I could be looking at theirs so that when I go to create mine, I know what that framework looks like. I have 2 proven systems that are already going. So I just wanted to show that all this stuff that Chris is talking about, it doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you've been doing this for a while. These are things that everyone needs to be doing, right? Everyone needs to be implementing this part of the mindset, this part of like tapping into what other people have written, tapping into other people's resources to use what they've done to your advantage. Because quite honestly, the truth of the matter is, most of us here aren't going to come up with a new idea. Most of us here aren't going to have some kind of new innovation in this market. However, most of us here also have the skill sets, have the ability, the aptitude, and the wherewithal to really go out and help a lot of people. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. I don't know if that means 1,000. I don't know if it means tens of thousands. Maybe it means hundreds of thousands. Maybe it means millions. But I truly believe that everyone that's here today, if you're here in the morning, if you've stopped by to see Shouse in the house this morning on Free Daily Coaching, if you took a few minutes to come and support her, to come and see what she's doing in her business, to see how you can implement that into yours, then I believe that you're on the right track. I believe that you're on the path to actual success, right? Because you're taking the actions required to move forward. That's why I believe that. And so I'm excited that Chris is going to be here on Thursdays. I'm excited about what she was talking about today. And I'm excited that I was listening in, because a lot of times on Thursdays, I won't even be listening in, right? It'll be like my morning off. I'll be like, hey, I could just go outside and hang out and enjoy the sunset or the sunrise, right? But this morning, what you were talking about was powerful, because this is the truth, is other people's ideas are powerful. And if you can start to implement some other people's ideas, you don't have to be the innovator, right? You don't have to be the inventor, but you can be the person that applies and practices from these new inventions. So thanks for sharing this morning, Chris. That was awesome.
Thank you. Clive also mentioned something else, was another Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. And I've listened to it on audio, and you can find it over on YouTube. It's about 6 hours long, but it's something that you could listen to in the background, and it had a profound effect on my life. So again, that was Napoleon Hill's other book, Outwitting the Devil, that his family would not allow to be printed until after they were all deceased. It was that powerful, and it really was powerful. So unless anyone else has something that they want to talk about this morning, I guess it is time for us to shut down. But we will be back tomorrow with Free for All Friday. And I really appreciate you guys all being here and helping me through my first hosting gig. And I appreciate Bert for the opportunity to do this. I know that it'll help me grow, and I have things that I do want to share. I have things that I can share with people, and so I appreciate you being here this morning. Bert, you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was just running back to the computer.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us here at Free Daily Coaching. Next week, we will have, again, next Thursday, Shouse will be in the house, and next week will just be Chris, so she'll have control. She'll be able to start and stop everything, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Friday free-for-all. We're really looking forward to tomorrow. Everyone, we want you to come out. We want to see Mario. We want to see Angel and Judy, Angela, Phoenicia, Leanne, Elizabeth, Debbie, everyone. We want to see you, Clive. We want to see you guys over on this side so that we can have a Friday free-for-all. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning on freedailycoaching.com. See you there.
Thank you, guys.